January 2026 Greater Hilltop Area Commission meeting. Welcome to a new year. Exciting things I am sure are in store for all of us. Before we begin, if we could have a roll call taken by our secretary.
Yes. Okay. Six. Chair Bates,
Here.
Treasurer Smith, present, Secretary Arger, present, and Commissioner, starting with Commissioner Carr.
Here.
Commissioner Kitchen.
Here.
Commissioner Valentine.
Here.
Commissioner Mateen.
Here.
Commissioner Amin.
Here.
Commissioner McKee.
Here.
Commissioner Maddox. Here. Commissioner Klingberg. Here. And Commissioner Martin.
Present.
All 12 present.
Great. Thank you. And can we have approval of the minutes that were sent out from our December meeting?
All motion. I didn't hear any issues.
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain?
You're
And then I'd also like approval of this month's agenda that has been presented before you and was emailed out. And if anybody needs extra copies, we have some here.
So moved.
We have a second?
I'll second.
Yep. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Very good. Look at this, my first day as chair and we're already moving right along. All right, now we, community stakeholder activity reports. We'd like to begin with Division of Police.
How's everybody doing tonight?
Good. Thanks for being here tonight.
Good to be here. Just thought I'd break down, we had Operation Unity 12/2/25 here on the west side. And that's about every so often, we haven't had one in a while on the west side. A lot of the zones that are doing them like once a month or something, so it was good that we got this done. Pull a lot of police resources into one area and go after hotspots and community complaints specifically. So basically we had 254 traffic stops that resulted in 130 citations. 43 of those were no operator's license or driving under suspension. So that shows you the chances of, if you're out here driving, somebody hitting you who doesn't have a driver's license or insurance. It's pretty high. We gave out 129 warnings, wrote 71 parking citations, had 28 felony arrests. That also is with injunction with a lot of times they'll set up different warrants too, that they know where there might be a felon or somebody maybe who's accused of or has a warrant for domestic violence. And sometimes they'll send special teams to go pick these guys up during that time after they do their homework, find out where these guys are. 35 misdemeanor arrests. Basically 43 adult arrests and 2 juvenile arrests. We had 2 search warrants served. Total of 51 arrest warrants served and 6 guns recovered. Total of 108 grams of drugs, which is cocaine, fentanyl, heroin, methamphetamine, and 4 stolen cars, impounded 43 vehicles, and 107 citizen contacts, which is basically go out, talk to people, just introduce yourself. Hey, how are things on the street? How are things at the store? And we worked 16 311 reports. Also, wanted to kind of bring up, I was kind of messing around with our Columbus website, and there is some good resources on there. So just to point that out, you can file a traffic crash report on the Columbus website. You can file an offense report on the website. Also, there are hopefully none of us are victims, but there are some good victim services stuff on there too. So if you just go in there and kind of play around, I'll pull it up now. But instead of having to wait for a cruiser, if you have like a minor accident or say a theft report you wanted to file, this will help you get that done faster and you won't have to wait on a cruiser. I think I might.
Josh has everything. Thanks, Josh.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. That's, you know, you're on it. So, my eyes are not guilty.
Oh, yeah.
I just got new contacts, but I do not like them. So,
Incident types on the web.
yeah, and so you can file different reports. I do not know right currently, because I have had complaints that people are trying to find their own reports on this website, and they still have not been able to look those up. So I don't know if that's something for sure that you could do. But just pass that information along, that there is some good resources on that website too. Anybody got any questions?
So I'll begin. I didn't see any other hands shoot up. My apologies if I jumped over other commissioners. Heard a lot in the news recently about the homicide rates for the city of Columbus. Could you kind of explain some of those numbers and kind of where they're Hilltop specific data points that you noticed from your time here?
Yeah, I could actually, next meeting, I can do a little,
That'd be great.
delve into that a little bit better. I know, the Hilltop numbers, we've been pleasantly, surprised. I mean, one's too many, right? But considering what the past has been, the actual Hilltop, we've been having, more of those towards Franklinton. For some reason, we've had a kind of like pickup on those, but overall, obviously, everybody in the city is pleased with the hard work that we have been doing. That last weekend was kind of a rough one. But overall, 19 precinct where I work specifically is doing really well. And I kind of have been following those, especially even with some felony shootings, discharge and habitations, things like that. Those seem to be fortunately on the downfall. Franklinton was kind of had some pickup there towards the end of the year. But what I can do is I'll pull some stats for the next meeting and kind of look closer at those.
I mean, and just anecdotally, it sounded like the place where we're still struggling with is domestic violence.
Yeah,
in that,
yeah,
or-
and that's everywhere, you know, that's not just in Columbus, it's nationwide, unfortunately. And you know, things are, when I first started, it was like I was making domestic violence arrests. I didn't see so many of like the felonious domestic violence calls that we get now, but we've got a lot of those where it's like, you know, choking or seriously harming somebody who you're in that relationship with, that domestic relationship. And I mean, we even have specific officers that are trained now to purposely come out where it's like I show up and somebody says, hey, I was choked, I lost consciousness. That's a felony. So we actually have officers instead of having detectives now that investigate those, because we get so many of those that we just don't have enough detectives to follow up on those. So yeah, domestic violence still is a really hot topic issue.
How many days did you do, the operation?
That was over, basically one entire shift. So first, second, and third shift through December, what did I say, December 2nd. So 24-hour shift.
Commissioners, additional questions? So I have one additional one regarding the number of folks driving under a suspended license or things like that. We know that a lot of times suspended licenses and people have had their licenses revoked. A lot of times it can be connected to fees that have gone unpaid, past tickets and things, and then they lose their license. How do officers respond? You know, if someone, you know, has too many speeding tickets, loses their license, unable to pay the fines, in connecting them with legal aid or additional resources? How does the department handle those?
So typically, if I pull somebody over and they were driving under suspension, a lot of times you'll see there will be 10, 11, 12 different suspensions. And most of the time, people will, you know, mess up, but they'll get it right. A lot of times people just don't care. So I've had guys with 50 open suspensions before. And with so many reinstatement fees, they'll never have their driver's license back. I couldn't afford, like, I don't know if Lex Wexner could afford some of the reinstatement fees that they had, but they put them all together. Okay. So what I would typically do is I would impound their car, and give them a court date unless I found some other reason to take them to jail. I don't recall ever taking somebody to jail just for driving without a driver's license, but I would tell them, look, the good news is today, you're not going to jail, but your car is. So then they can take that up with the DMV, because a lot of times in the past, I had been trying to give somebody maybe a break and then have somebody come pick up their car, and then the next day I see them driving by me in their car.
Yeah,
So I got burned by that.
gotcha. Any additional questions from the commission? Thank you so much and Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Oh, question.
Sure.
Community. So out of the data that you shared, how many were multiple infractions? So in other words, so you talked about the number of, student license, you talked about fentanyl, you talked about all that. So how many was it, like one stop or one arrest, and it was multiple infractions?
Yeah, sometimes that can be that. It's just the way our stats turn out. You can play with stats and make them look any type of way, right? So, that's just the way I pulled it. So there's sometimes if I pull somebody over for a traffic stop and I write them 5 citations, that's one traffic stop, but they get 5 citations.
Yeah,
And then if I get a gun and some dope out of the car, that's 2 different felony arrests.
so how many, fentanyl, infractions have you got during that time?
So, just, 2 grams of fentanyl total.
Oh, wow.
A lot of times what happens though too, is to be able to say that that's 2 grams, we'll turn stuff into the property room because we don't know what. So unless we're very for sure that it's fentanyl, and we normally don't test it on the street anymore, so we would turn that into a property room. So there could be more there
Okay,
than just that, because you turn to the property room and then once they say, hey, this is fentanyl, then you would go ahead and indict somebody.
Yeah.
But I'm not just gonna arrest somebody because I found some powder in their car without me being able to prove what it is.
do you know how many fentanyl deaths there's been?
I don't, but I can look that up to you.
Can you?
Yeah.
That would be great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Yeah,
Not seeing anybody else? Thank you very much.
thank you.
Happy New Year. All right, City Attorney's Office? Let's see. All right. City Council Division of Community Engagement. Happy New Year.
Hi, happy New Year. Just real quick, cause as we know now, I do quarterly visits. My name is Jocelyn Martinez Cortez. I work for Columbus City Council's Community Engagement Team. I serve as kind of like the council version of Olabisi, but much less cool. And I support Councilmember Green, who is, covers the Hilltop area, District 6. And then I also support Councilmember Day on Tower and then the other members as needed. As I briefly mentioned, I just want to put a reminder out there that I still love y'all, but I do have directives from my new leadership that I am to be here once a quarter. Last month I did watch online because I was sick and did not want to get any of you sick. I'm happy to be here. I am always available to you all. If you need anything, please reach out. I'll start off with, we welcomed a new council member. Councilmember Ross is District 7, but of course, all of our members represent all of Columbus. We hope to have the website updated with her staff by the end of the year, or not the end of the year, oh my gosh, by the end of the month. And hopefully we'll have some hot cards like we do for the other members available for her soon as well. If you would like to meet her, she'll be having her first event with my colleague Suzanne Zhao on January 16th. You can find the sign up information, the RSVP information, as well as the address on our social media. They just posted it today. So that is Councilmember Ross. We're really happy to welcome her. Yesterday we had a council meeting, but it was a reorganization meeting. So it's all the members get together and they choose who's gonna be council president. And they also reassign any committee assignments if applicable. And last night, Councilmember Green is still keeping Health and Human Services as she had before, but now she will be the vice chair of the Education, Workforce and Labor Committee. So she's really excited to dive deep into that committee and start, getting to work with those departments. Next week we have a meeting and there already is like a few mentions of Hilltop in that agenda. However, they do seem to be more procedural utilities projects, that sort of deal. And then we're gonna take about 2 weeks off, one for the holiday and one because that's how the schedule worked out. And then we're right back to our council Monday meetings at 5 p.m. You can always feel free to watch these online, on Facebook and on YouTube. But if you wanna come hang out with us, please do. We're a good time. And then, if you need anything, please let me know. I know I'm not here very frequently, but if you need something or there's something to you that you think I need to be aware of, so I can help push towards the council members, please let me know. I am truly is why I'm here. So happy to help however needed. Any questions?
Any questions for Ghislaine?
Awesome.
Oh, we got one from the community.
Did you circle back to Dick and Joe about the park audit review with city council? I forgot to add you to that email, but now I have to do it. John. John.
Yeah. Yeah.
And next up is Department of Neighborhoods, Olabisi. The cool office we hear.
Hey, good evening, everyone. Happy New Year. Don't have very many announcements for you tonight. Except we are in the process of finalizing our area commissioner training for 2026. Right now, we do have one confirmed. It will be on Wednesday, January 28th. It will be with the city attorney's office. We'll have two presenters. Rob Tobias will be presenting on sunshine laws and general area commission procedure. And then Steve Dunbar will be presenting on the city's property action team. Look for an email within the next week or so for you to RSVP. Highly recommend our new commissioners to attend that. There'll be a lot of information, and I'm sure we'll have some questions about that as the presentation is presented. So that'll be once again Wednesday, January 28th, 6 to 7:30, and it'll be on Flex. That's all I have for you. Do you have any questions?
Any questions from commissioners? Community questions?
Yes, sorry, I do have a couple more things, I'm sorry.
Wonderful.
Yes, so we are partnering, Partner Neighborhoods and City Council, we're partnering to host mobile office hours monthly across the west side. So this month we will be at Bada Bing Bada Boo's. That's in the quarry, which is West Scioto area. Think of the new Metro Park near around that area. And
I think it's January 27th, but we'll send out the info. Just like start getting excited now.
yes,
And please
Where-
come hang out.
Where is it at?
Bada Bing, Bada Boo's. It's a coffee shop at the quarry.
Okay,
Yeah.
There's a little retail.
Yeah.
There's a little retail strip there. along
Coffee shop
Trail
by
Drive.
day and
Yeah.
bar by night, so.
okay.
Yeah, honesty,
Got
And
it, got it. That's funny.
if you have any ideas where you would like for us to go for office hours, please feel free to shoot myself or Jocelyn an email or give us a call, let us know. We'd love to be out in the community. So, thank you. Oh, yeah, spend your money, please. Spend your money.
Alright. Alright. Hilltop Rides.
No updates today.
No updates. Well, happy new year.
Likewise, thank you.
Envision Hilltop.
Hi, everyone. I don't have any updates. I just never want to miss an opportunity for those who are not aware of what the Envision Hilltop plan is. For those of you in the audience or those watching online, Envision Hilltop is a community plan that was facilitated by the Department of Neighborhoods, but with primarily input given by the community. the Hilltop community. You can go to envisionhilltop.com to read the plan, and also there is an opportunity to see where we're at. That plan launched around 2020, so believe it or not, it's been 5 years that the Envision Hilltop plan has been in existence. Progress has been made. I guess I would say one thing is moving into 2026, the advisory team, which I co-facilitate, we are going to be this year trying to identify some specific projects that are in alignment with the Envision Hilltop plan, in which we have some passion and some interest around, and really kind of focus our efforts on that. In the past, we've sort of been just meeting with the 3 subcommittees. And we're looking at trying to revamp this to try and get a little bit more community engagement and also interest. But still, there is a lot of achievements that have been made, and I would encourage people to go to that website, envisionhilltop.com, and click on the Where We Are tab, and you'll be able to see some improvements and also some demographic updates, which is very helpful. So, thank you.
Great, thank you. Any questions for Kevin? Okay, we got a couple questions in the back.
Man. I don't know. Yes. Yes, but we meet quarterly. Our dates have not yet been released for 2026 yet, but they will be soon. And we post those meeting dates and locations on the website. Also, my contact information, and also Nick Clapp of the Department of Neighborhoods, his contact information is on that website as well. So you can reach out and we can make sure you're getting that information. So envisionhilltop.com is your go-to source for all information related to the plan.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you. And zone in update. Who's here? So the zone in, for those that are unaware, is the new initiative. Well, not even new at this point. They've already done phase 1, rezoning all of West Broad Street and a lot of Sullivan Avenue through the Hilltop. Zone in phase 2 is moving quickly. It's on its way. Votes are coming. And then there'll be phase 3, which will get more into the residential neighborhoods. Phase 2 is focused largely on manufacturing areas and some of those other kind of non-major corridors, but potential major areas. And so they have requested, so for whoever is doing agendas in the future, they've requested to be monthly update, just like our other city and community stakeholders, to be part of the agenda each month. All right. So moving on, we'll do first commissioners, any announcements, and then we'll invite community members who have anything to address the commission with. Will then be invited at that time to address the commission. So commissioners, any announcements? Well, I have one. So in addition to other work I do, I'm also a scout leader over with Troop 33 that meets over here at Parkview United Methodist Church. We're doing a spaghetti dinner, pasta dinner, actually. I shouldn't say spaghetti because the kids are very adamant about having a choice of pasta. So there'll be like a spaghetti noodle, an elbow macaroni noodle, you get to pick, and then we'll have a couple different kinds of sauces and meatballs. And then the scouts will also put on some entertainment throughout the evening, some skits and songs. Tickets are $15. We're very excited that Pastor Kevin's congregation is one of our sponsors. And if anyone else has an organization or business that would like to sponsor it, talk to me. I'm coordinating that. But yeah, February 22nd, come on out, hang out with neighbors, and have some good food made by our scouts. So they'll get some merit badge requirements signed off for this as well. But extra flyers are over there as well. Any other announcements from commissioners? Do any community members wish to address the commission or have any public comment? Sarah DeMora?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Senator Bill DeMora, I'm your state senator. I just wanted to update everybody, myself, Representative Seacrest, and Representative Cockby met with Congressman Kerry yesterday about the ice raids that are happening here on the west side, as well as in Northland, both of which happen to be in my Senate district. The congressman didn't have much to tell us because ICE doesn't cooperate with him either, but Representative Cox, Representative Sequist and I sent a letter to the Department of Corrections today because a lot of the ICE detainees are being held in the Butler County Jail, which is under the Department of Corrections supervision. They have the ability to go and inspect it. The conditions down there, if you've ever seen this idiot with his cowboy hat on TV on Fox News all the time, serving warden burgers. They have no heat down there right now. They're overcrowded by over 75 people overcrowded right now, yet they're still accepting more. We demanded that the director of prisons go down there, inspect it, an emergency inspection to see how they're violating law by being overcrowded, not having proper heat and serving proper food. Representative Kerry promised, right now, according to a judicial thing that came out somewhere else, any member of Congress is allowed to go and inspect any ICE facility in the country. So I have asked Congresswoman Beatty and we asked Congressman Casey. I mean, I can't, I'm doing too many things at one time. We had Kerry to ask them to go to Butler County to inspect this facility, which has been horrible. The Department of Corrections actually last July said it was failing on several different fronts. So we asked them to do that. Of course, we have no contact at ICE. I mean, ICE, we tried to reach out to ICE. My office has, as a Representative Cochran and Representative Seacrest. They don't take requests from us. They don't answer our phone calls. We met with the person from CHIPS yesterday as well in our office before we met with Congressman Kerry, who gave us a 3-page detail about some of what they've been able to find out, meeting with their clients, because several attorneys meet with their clients down in Butler County and finding out that's what's going on here. Several of these people don't have any criminal record at all. They've been scooped up out of their cars or out of their homes or businesses. So I want to give you an update about that because it does affect obviously the Hilltop as well as other parts of the west side and Northern area. But that's all I can give you because ICE doesn't return any of our calls. We asked Congressman Kerry to get that we wanted the ability to know what's going on. We wanted what's the word I'm thinking of, Kayla? Transparency about what ICE is doing in our communities. Now, we doubt we're gonna get that, and Congressman Kerry actually said that he doubted they'd tell him that, but we asked him to make the ask for us. So I wanted to update about that. Everybody, also legislative update. We've been out of session since the middle of December when the Senate voted to concur with House amendments and to the marijuana bill, which basically guts what the people of Ohio voted on back in 2023. The legislation basically takes away a lot of the things that people voted on and gives 64% of the money to the general revenue fund, whereas people voted on an initiative statute that gave no money to the general revenue fund. It spread it out to DEI initiatives and all other kinds of things. So that bill passed. The governor signed it, but vetoed the part that allowed hemp beverages to continue on until federal law made them illegal at the end of 2026. So he basically killed hemp beverages, which employs the people all around Ohio making these things, including one up in my district in Clintonville. Basically 2,000 jobs in Ohio will be lost as of March 1st when the bill takes effect because the governor vetoed the ability to have these things go on until in the 2026, hoping that we would get the federal government to change their minds, what we think we might be able to do. Otherwise, the legislature is not meeting again. The Senate's not meeting again until the end of January. The House rumors are not going to meet again until March because the House Speaker doesn't want to deal with his own membership. Listen, there are some big wackadoodles over there. I wouldn't want to meet with them either. But we just heard today that we're probably gonna have a capital bill. We are, that's what we heard today. We heard today that we're gonna have a capital bill. Okay, Kayla works first, so maybe we got different, we had different things that I heard, that we're gonna have one because of the property tax stuff that we passed. That I voted no on most of it because it actually doesn't help any of you, it just helps corporations and will kill the schools and local governments. But
I said, we'll chat.
yeah, we'll chat. So we got different information. If we do have a capital bill, my office will reach out to all the local organizations who are potentially interested in it to submit things to our office. and Representative Cochran's office as well, for it. But again, if we have differing facts, so maybe maybe the news I got from my office is different than the news that Kayla got today, so I apologize, I'm not giving you information, but I was telling you exactly what I found out an hour or so ago. With that, I'm going to take any questions you may have about what's going on at the State House, if anybody has any questions.
Commissioners, any questions for the senator?
Recently, there were some talks about, the federal government suspending funds, regulated to childcare.
Yes.
Not exactly sure how that may or may not impact specifically Columbus, especially like the Franklin County.
Well, it will definitely impact Ohio. I will tell you that I usually don't agree with most of the things that Governor DeWine does, but in this case, what happened, you're hearing all these, so supposedly it hasn't been proven yet, but some communities in Minnesota were gaming the system to get money for child daycare for these groups that people were actually, children aren't actually being at daycare. Ohio does it differently than Minnesota. I mean, and if you look at Governor DeWine's response, Ohio does it by attendance, not by people signing up for it. So you have to actually be there to count to get, in order to have to receive any kind of money from the federal government for that. So the fraud that is, I will say that it's run rampant on the internet and right-wing chat rooms. In Ohio, no one, the governor came out and said that this is not happening here, that that the instances of people saying that certain places were doing it, actually the state, that the governor's office, whoever does it, DHS, went out to look at these places and that were unfounded. So I don't know what to tell you about what you hear on the internet. I mean, I don't believe anything I hear on the internet at all, but at least in Ohio, although Trump today is suspending this money to a bunch of quote unquote blue states, Ohio hasn't gotten money suspended yet, as far as I know. But that we have, I think, 30 days for Governor DeWine and the state to prove that there's not rampant fraud going on in Ohio, which the governor came out clearly said that's not happening. So that's all I can answer about that. Again, I have no control over what happens in Washington, DC, nor actually do I want to right now. But it will affect us if Ohio gets named and they stop funds for daycare centers in Ohio, we will absolutely be affected by that. But I think the Governor DeWine came out very strong over the weekend to say that this is not happening in Ohio. Yes, Mr. Chairman. Oh.
Other commissioners with questions for the senator? Community questions for sir?
Yes, sir.
So you were talking about the property tax. Do you have a plan in place in case the evolved property tax initiative passes? Gets on the ballot and passes?
Okay, so Bill DeMora has all kinds of plans, but unfortunately the Senate doesn't listen to what Bill DeMora likes to do. But they're collecting, first off, they're collecting signatures, and they have to get almost 500,000 ballot signatures to get on the ballot. They're due sometime in July. If they make it to the ballot, there will be a concerted effort, not having anything to do with the Senate, but having to do with firefighters, FOP, local governments, county governments, libraries, everything, schools, everything in the world that relies on property taxes for funding. There will be a group that is formed, and they're meeting, off the record now, they're meeting, get organized. If it does make the ballot, these groups will all come out. There will be money raised to combat this with TV commercials and everything else in November. I can guarantee you, and again, I'm not trying to be partisan, but I can guarantee you that the Democratic Party will take a stand against the abolishment of property taxes, go on several ballots across Ohio, so that at least people that receive that ballot will know that this is a bad thing to vote no on it. I can't speak of what the Republican Party will do, although a lot of these communities across the state, the major cities have Democratic mayors, most of the other communities in Ohio are Republican mayors and Republican councils. We're gonna be hit just as hard, if not harder, because more of their money comes from, percentage of their money comes from state property taxes than money in the larger cities have other forms of revenue. So my guess is it'll be a bipartisan effort to defeat this at the ballot box if it makes it. From a legislative standpoint, my colleagues, Senator Craig especially, and I put in several bills to actually try to solve the property tax crisis, to take the burden off of individual taxpayers. But to keep the schools made whole, what we passed, and I'm gonna say we as a Senate, again, I voted no on 4 of the 5. Aren't gonna, what they passed is not gonna help any of you. None of you are gonna see property taxes reduced, but what we passed in a massive session till 3 a.m. back at the end of November. We have stuff in place. I mean, I have a bill that would freeze seniors' property taxes. If you're a certain age, making under a certain amount of money and been in your house for a certain number of years, your property tax will be frozen. There's a circuit breaker that would, actually, once you pay a certain percentage of your income, the property taxes, that's all you pay. And then the state would make up for all that stuff with money from the revenue fund and the rainy day fund, which is over $3 billion right now, to make schools whole and local governments whole. Those bills haven't got a hearing yet. Kayla can probably list off another 5 bills that I'm not sponsoring right now that are actually designed to help people. I've been working with Auditor Stinciano. I mean, he's the best auditor in the state, along with the Montgomery County Auditor. And I listen to their advice, and we've tried to do these things. We could have last year in the budget taken the $1.2 billion that the legislature gave for income tax relief to those that make a lot of money and put that into property tax relief. But since the Senate president is now going to be the lieutenant governor for his party, and they wanted to see income taxes, that's what they did. Also, as you know, we're giving $2.4 billion to private schools for vouchers. Money is taken right out from public schools, given to vouchers. So all that money could have helped, they could have kept public schools whole, could have helped with the property taxes, but the majority of people in the legislature decided giving an income tax break to people that make over $150,000 was more important than helping you in your property tax.
How much did they give it to the Brown Stadium?
600 million. I actually, I put a bill in that got kind of national attention in the sports world to say that you cannot receive state money if your team has not had a winning record 3 out of 5 years.
Yeah.
Okay, that was my bill. I knew it was not going anywhere, but it was something, that's how laughable it is to give $600 million to a guy worth 14 billion. And right now, there's a TRO on that money. Again, the judge extended it for another 2 weeks, I believe, yesterday or today, that the state cannot give $600 million to the Haslam's to build their stadium. While former attorney Mark Dan is challenging it in court. Again, I don't know where that's gonna be, but I'm certainly morally opposed to it. I voted no on the budget because of that.
Only gonna help Cleveland.
It's only gonna help one billionaire to make another $1 billion in profit when he develops the whole thing. That's all it's gonna do. Now, I will tell you that Nationwide Arena, which is owned by all of us, it's owned by the county. They're requesting $100 million for roof repairs and everything. I'm supportive of that because, again, as taxpayers, every taxpayer in the county owns the Huntington Park for the Clippers and owns Nationwide Arena because the county owns those things.
So you get in free.
The team's still owned by us, just the arena, but so they're requesting money from what is now unclaimed funds. There was $1 billion in this fund, 600 million of it went to the Browns. There's 400 million now to go to, it's gonna go to the Bengals, it's gonna go to Nationwide Arena, it's gonna go to some other minor league parks in the state to make improvements on them. So at some point, there's gonna be millions being held in court, but the other money is gonna be requested, whether it's through a capital budget, whether it's this fund now, what's the name of the fund? The cultural and sports improvement, something fund that now has $1 billion in it. So that's what's going on with that. But I'm morally opposed to giving billionaires money. I'm okay giving money to communities that need it for something that's owned by the community, but I'm morally opposed to give billionaires more money from state taxpayers.
Okay, thank you. Are there any other community members who have any questions? Seeing none, thank you so much and Happy New Year.
I'm gonna try to come once every 3 or 4 months. There are 2 other communities. I have Northland and Fifth by Northwest at the same time on the same first Tuesday of every month. So I cannot be here every month, but I will try to promise you to come every quarter at least to answer any questions. I left newsletters over there if anyone wants to take it. If anyone wants to take some, on my office, so I was open to answer anybody's questions.
Thank you so much. All right, Are there any additional committee members who have messages or announcements before the commission? None?
Good evening, everyone. Back in December 2nd, full commission meeting, there was a request made by the GHAC for a FOIA request. Does anybody know who made that request on behalf of the GHAC? Nobody?
On behalf of the commission.
Yes, on behalf of this entire commission, I got a FOIA request from somebody wanting to look at my PC. So I brought my laptop tonight. Still have every email on it. If anybody wants to look at it, you're more than welcome. But according to the city, there's no such thing as a FOIA request for a local commission. So that's just to.
Do you have any documentation that somebody asked you? Like, I don't understand what this.
It was
doesn't make
during the live meeting.
I don't recall that. I was there.
Yeah, it was during the live meeting and it was sent through the communication where you ask questions and somebody on the team, this group, responded.
So you requested us.
No. No. What happened was that there was an ongoing issue with the previous chair. And toward the end, he requested a FOIA request. Somebody requested a FOIA request. So it was only 3 people that should have access to answer that. I believe it was Ashley, I believe it was you, and I believe it was the chair.
I don't understand. So a FOIA request would be an individual requesting public documentation
But this
from a government entity.
But this
A
came
FOIA
from-
request does not go from a government entity to a person. That would be a subpoena.
Well, it was requested by somebody on the GHAC.
That would be a subpoena. I don't understand why we're even discussing this.
I'm looking at our minutes and we don't have any record of our official minutes.
I believe that there was I understand that there were communications that happened. That's a whole other separate thing. In that, I do remember you specifically asking us to provide you documentation.
Mhm.
That would
Which
be
I
a
got.
FOIA request from you to a government entity, but that
Which I
would be,
received.
that would need to be sent to the city.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why you think that we would be able to subpoena you for your
This
documentation.
comment was made during the December 2nd meeting while it was live. I thought I kept a screenshot of it. It basically was just from the GHAC and it said, we're formally requesting a FOIA request for your email chain, and then once we get the email chain, we will publish it.
So during the
So
live
anybody that wants to
meeting,
look at that email chain.
during the live meeting, I have access and
Yeah.
other people did at the time. Now it has been restricted slightly.
So.
That communication was not occurred during the live meeting. I can tell you that because I'm the one that monitors that and I can see when the comments are back and forth like Scott Carr
It
recently.
actually was the second.
The second, potentially, sure, but during the live meeting, I don't know, but either way. It's irrelevant. I don't know why we're having this discussion.
Well, I just wanted to bring it forward if you guys requested it.
Well,
It
thank you
came
for,
From the GHAC.
I feel like this is just a bunch of drama that doesn't need
Yeah.
to be here, so if there's something
Well,
that's
you
relevant,
think it's drama,
it is.
but it's something that actually happened. So did you guys all sit?
So
and
if somebody
discuss
asks
and
you to
agree?
do something
Okay.
else, I don't understand.
They want-
so since nobody on the commission who is sitting up here right now that I can see requested it, my apologies to you on behalf of the commission, for being misled that we would be able to make a FOIA request of you in that capacity. Cause I know,
Olabisi, I believe, you can't do or David Huey.
so a FOIA request, access to public information that. So nobody on this commission that, who's sitting up here right now that I can see, or if they did, they're not
They're not.
confessing to it.
Not a government entity, we can't FOIA request him.
Yeah, so my apologies if this has created extra anxiety for you or concern. And we do not need to see your email chains or private information.
I kept
This
every
time, so-
document I had, so if anybody is wanting to look at it, they're more than welcome. There's nothing on it to hide.
So that we are not, as a commission, we are not requesting to see your information. And my
I'm
apologies
just
to you on
saying
that.
that something came through on December 2nd that asked for a
Yep.
FOIA request.
Great.
So. Okay,
All right, well, thank you so much for coming forward tonight.
thank you.
All right. Any additional community announcements? Oh, Terry, could you introduce yourself for the record?
Sir, I'm Terry Ruth, a local resident, actually a life on the hilltop. I know Ray used to live down the street from me. So,
Great, thank you.
sorry. Yeah, thank you.
Alrighty, seeing no additional announcements, I'd like to move into, I will say Representative Humphrey was gonna be here tonight. She emailed us earlier today saying that she is under the weather. So hopefully she gets well soon, and always no fun to get sick during the holidays. But she hopes to be able to come next month to talk with us. So at this time, I'd like, for those that are unaware, our Parks and Recreation Committee for the past few years has been extremely active in going out and doing individual park audits. And I thought it would be good for commissioners to see a summary of that work. So our chair of the Parks Committee, James, would you like to come forward and share some of your findings?
Good evening,
during the-
everyone. One time no see.
Park audits.
I did print out 6 copies. It's about 15 pages this year, so if anybody wants one that doesn't get one, you can have mine after we're done. So just to focus in on what the committee did for 2025. Our biggest goal is to get out to at least half of our parks every other year to do an audit. What that encompasses is we're gonna do a brief litter cleanup. We're gonna meet the neighbors. We're gonna actually review the park itself, the amenities, site access. The audit itself breaks down into several different categories.
Right.
The new thing for this year is we updated the grading scale. So in the past, we've been doing this since 2021. In the past, we've used verbiage. Poor, good, very good, excellent. And then now we've switched over to like a grading scale, so it's a little less biased when it's coming from the committee. We still kept the same like 5 tiers, so 1 through 5, 5 being excellent. The second page on the audit report is gonna go into extreme detail of like how we're coming to those conclusions to give each either site amenity, site access, signage, parking lots, those grades. So just briefly, number 5, excellent. The park is fully functional, highly used, and well designed. Number 4, very good. The park is well used and attractive with only minor gaps. Number 3, the park is good. The park is functional and usable, but shows signs of aging and missed opportunities. And if we give something a 2, we're going to rate it as fair. The park is underutilized due to design, conditions, lack of programming. And then 4, which is our worst grade. The park is largely unusable or abandoned. So think about parks on paper where it's just a mowed field, there's no amenities, there's no sign, there's no trash can. A big example of this one, 4 would be Stevens Drive. If you've not heard of it or recognize it, it's a pocket park behind a row of homes, and the city does well maintain, which is one of our parks this year. And overall, we got through 9 parks, or 8 in total, I'm sorry. We only had 1 that was rated over a 4, which on the report, it's gonna be Westmore. Going down the list, we've had 3 that were rated over a 3, which is considered good. And our focus for 2025, when we put the list together, is to focus on the worst ones first. These are the ones that we're gonna heavily emphasize to the city when they come in to meet with the committee, hopefully in February or March, to go over all of the reports. In the past, the city's done a really good job, and by city, I mean, Morgan Wade. She's done a really good job of putting a presentation together every year to kind of go over every single park that we have, so we get information about every park, not just the ones that we do the audits on. So again, we're hopeful to have that scheduled in February or March. I know last 2025 was delayed a lot because of the work that the department was working on when it came to some of the programming they were pushing out at the beginning of 2025. And with that, our 2026 committee outlook, we're gonna get to 10 parks this year. We've added one, which is the Whitethorn Woods. I drove past it a couple of times. If you also see it or drive by, please put in a 311 request. There's still a lot of illegal dumping off of Beacon. The more we put in, the more the city will kind of emphasize that they need to step up and start addressing some of the trash issue. And then another focus we're going to try to get to on 2026 is I'm going to go back through the last 3 years and kind of re-implement the grading scale so we can have a clear comparison of how the last 3-year audits compared to 2025. So we were making more informed decisions on which parts to focus on, which ones need more emphasis, and just a better ease of moving forward. Everything's on the same system. And then another thing that we're going to be looking at is trying to implement a 311 review of the parks. So trying to pull 311 data on the parks before we go out, because we know well in advance now that every park's on a biannual review of the ones that we can start requesting 311 reports from in the beginning of the year. So we have those ready to go to say, hey, this has been a big 311 request in this bucket. What can we see? What can we try to identify to fix and improve for on paper and put it in front of the city, as well as if there's anything the commission can kind of lobby for with the city council or with some state funds or even some county dollars. Right. Does anybody have any questions?
Any questions?
Does anybody want a copy of the get it?
I have a question though.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have an update on the park? From a year half ago, where we, the commission reported to,
That's the Whitethorn Woods.
yeah.
Yes, so this, I don't have any confirmed updates. If the city did acquire it, it is considered a city park now slash reserve.
Yeah.
So there's not a lot that can be implemented in the park, other than like walking paths, like non-permeable structures, like sort of benches and trash cans. I'm hoping that Morgan will have a lot more updates on that one this year at the city review. Now that they've had like a whole entire year to try to figure out their game plan for it, because the big hurdle that they were working on was securing the funding to purchase the land. And now that that's done, now the committee is going to be in the driver's seat of pushing like, hey, let's do something with this. Because I know the community around it, I know there's a church revival that happens in one of the big fields. I know they want to continue to do that. I think the city did approve for them to do it this past year. That's one thing I want to try to emphasize, that they keep allowing it to happen. I just know there's like some weird protocols that they got to go through in order to keep being there.
Thank you.
There was consideration that it could be considered a reserve or whatever that heightened level.
That is what it's considered. It's not considered a park. It's considered a nature reserve or nature preserve. And what that entails is like they can't put in playground equipment. There can't be shelters or rec center. A lot of it is trying to preserve the trees that are there, the wildlife that's there, and making subtle improvements such as like a walking path, ripping out all of the invasive species, doing native plants. And I believe there's still communication about that corridor along the railroad tracks connecting Grove City to downtown or along that stretch. So that's another key item that we're trying to stay focused on, of like, is this project moving forward too? Anything else?
Any additional questions?
You still want?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you for the work on this, and I'll just say, these park audits, I think, are a great example of the work we get to do as a commission. And as we look at 2026, I think it's a great opportunity to look at our different committees and the different work we do. Because then we walk in and we hand to the city, here's what needs are the attention based on Hilltop residents, based on what people see, here's what needs fixed. And I think we can see then those investments, might not be right away, but then it gives them an easy tool to say, oh, this parking lot needs repaved and lines need repainted. The lighting over here needs, redone. Very easy asks for the city to do. In a city of, 1 million people, being able to come in and say, hey, clear as black and white, do this. It's a great asset. Alrighty. So that ends community presentations. We'll now move on to report of the officers. And I guess as acting chair for a whopping 6 days, officially, and only vice chair for a month. I do have a few things I would like to say, not an official report, if you will. But as we, just a little level setting for 2026, as commissioners, I think we need to remember, we are advocates for the Hilltop. We are chosen by our neighbors and our community to speak up, to be out there, promoting our neighborhood. I've been here almost 20 years. Yeah, we got some issues that need to be addressed. But at the end of the day, I think this is a great place to live. It's a place I've chosen to raise my family, sending my kids to Columbus City schools. And I think that's something that we all need to remember as we advocate for this neighborhood. The diversity that we have here on the Hilltop is a great thing. We have, immigrants, people who have moved to Columbus, people who have lived here for many, many generations, racial diversity, economic diversity, nationality, religion, age, and basically every other category under the sun. And I think that strengthens who we are as a Hilltop. Over the course of next year, we're gonna have disagreements. I've chaired the zoning committee now for a little over a year, and there's a lot of disagreements that have come before us. One of the things that I think strengthens our work and our advocacy on behalf of this neighborhood is when we can disagree respectfully, to make sure that we argue about the issues, but we keep it about the issues, instead of personal attacks or anger about one another. Attendance matters. At our, it's the park audits, at our zoning committee meetings, the more voices that we can have represented at those meetings, talking about all the different issues, community safety, right down the line, that's where the work gets done. So yes, we got to be here the first Tuesday of every month, but then also those committee meetings. Want to remind commissioners that we are also sent out. Yes, we do a lot of work in our committee meetings. We do a lot of work here, but we also do work when the Columbus City School Board is going around and hosting in-person forums about school closures and transportation. When the city is out doing the bean and boot, whatever it is. The bean and booze plays. Bada bean, bada boo. Showing up at those things, raising up, and that's area right outside of the Hilltop officially. So saying, hey, make sure, y'all coming over, checking out, benefiting our side of the highway as well. And when we are engaging in public, it's important to remember that, if a reporter asks you something, it's okay to say, I am an area commissioner, but unless the commission has taken a formal vote, or is authorized under something else, you cannot speak on behalf of the full commission. Okay, so if you're at a public event around schools closures and a reporter comes up to you, it's okay to say, I serve on the Greater Hilltop Area Commission. We're very concerned, or we love this idea, or what have instead of saying we, it's I love this idea because of these things. Okay. Similarly, when you're engaging online, you are speaking on behalf of yourself, not on behalf of the commission, unless the commission has authorized that speech. And finally, we run into each other at places, at the grocery store, here at the library. Be cognizant of public meeting laws. OLBC mentioned a training on that coming up, and sunshine laws. If you want a refresher or need that information, attend it. Remember, if you have a committee of 7 people and you email 4 of them, for your committee members, you're now in violation of public meeting laws. If you're trying to have a conversation about an issue, saying, here's the meeting agenda, everyone show up. You can send out the information, but if the dialogue begins, that would have to get shut down, okay? So just some quick level setting for the year, because I'm really excited about the upcoming year. And that is my one and only chair report. Vice chair, we don't have one right now, do we? No vice chair. Treasurer.
None for me.
Olabisi told you to say something. We have money to spend, right?
Oh, we have a P-card report, that I just received right before the meeting. But I'm gonna, send that out to the next treasurer.
Perfect. Okay. And secretary.
Thank you. We have been having a conversation over the better part of the last year about possible bylaw revisions around attendance. And we're kicking ideas around at the Government Legislation Committee. And there's nothing super formal at this time, but we are seeing what commissioners may be interested in around that, as well as reviewing guidance that came from the city at the end of last year. So if you're interested in being a part of that conversation, please come to our Government and Legislation Committees meetings, of course, without creating quorum, but
Yeah.
yeah, and we can also chat at another time too, if you have questions about that, but that is a topic that we've continued to discuss.
Great, thank you. All right, we're moving on to committees. For zoning committee. Normally I have a big fun report to give. That'll take an hour and a half. Tonight, no report. We were not able to meet quorum, and that's one of the things as people start rolling off the committee at the end of the year. And then a few folks aren't able to make it. We weren't able to meet quorum for our meeting, so we were not able to meet. So we are moving our December agenda. That was right before the holidays. Will be our January agenda. And yeah, that date looks good. Sure, let's do that. All right. Oh, also for the committees, since we're signing up tonight for new committees, and I have a form here for folks when we get to that portion of our agenda. The zoning, if committee chairs can share a little update, just kind of what is the purpose of your committee? So new commissioners are aware. So the zoning committee reviews zoning variances, demolition permits, zoning changes that have been proposed for specific properties. We then review, hold discussion, recommend back to the full commission, where then the full commission takes final votes. And then those final votes are just a recommendation then to city council and to the BZA and the other folks downtown, where then they'll take our input and make final decisions on that. So it's a committee where we get a lot of work that is sent to us. And you get to learn, it's kind of, you got to look at what is the feel of the neighborhood. We send out the addresses, drive around, look at them if you'd like, look at them online, and we get the application sent to us. So it's very fascinating work if you're interested in that sort of thing. Community Relations Committee.
I got nothing. We did not meet last month. We'll meet on January the 27th. Do you have a general gist of what we do that you wanted to?
I'm just gonna read what's on the
There
website,
you
which other committee members feel free to do that, or I can do it for you if you don't have a computer. So our committee is responsible for maintaining the GHAC web presence, ensuring document and video archives remain organized and available, promoting the Hilltop, and ensuring residents are aware of what the commission is working on. The committee aims to increase resident participation in the commission and ensure that voices are heard. So like it says, we do the social media management. I will give like a slight disclaimer. So we did switch over to a new website platform this past year, and not all the documents have migrated. We also lost one of the commissioners that was managing the website, so we'll need to make some changes this year. The city would like 2 people from every area commission to manage the website, so one of those people is Josh, and then the other one is vacant. I'm happy to do that if I'm still on this committee. And then we also typically will just review public events that happen and talk about participation at those events. Yeah, we'll meet. We usually meet the 4th Tuesday at 7, following government legislation.
Thank you. Urban legislation?
Well, that's currently vacant, correct, Chair, but we did meet on December 20th. With the two, let's see, the two main items were potential bylaw revision that I previously mentioned, and what was the second one?
Changing the appointment process.
Oh, correct, yeah, we had a discussion on the appointment process. So those will continue in government legislation. Again, if anyone has, let me go out and see. What are, they oversee the committee oversees the annual elections, including setting the election date, distributing, collecting candidate packets, and ensuring that elections are run fairly and smoothly. This committee works with other area commission committees as needed, proposing create changes to the commission bylaws. Let's see, the next meeting is on the 27th as well at 6:30, so just directly before community vote. Here at Flatbed.
Great. Human service and education.
Okay, thank you. That's me. I'm Chair Gerardra. We met on the 17th of December. We continued a discussion of our school traffic safety audits, as well as about focus areas for 2026. Things that we all might want to focus on for the next year. So for anyone who is interested in being on the committee, the way that I'm at least as I was chair, we'll see if I'll be chair again, but the goal is to empower each of you to have your focus areas, your special topic interest areas, and pick your own projects that you want to advance. It can be as simple as just identifying the agencies and having email conversations with them about what their issues might be. Or it could be big projects like the park audits and everything in between. You can leverage the work that you already do in the community to do that. It could be, yeah, we'll just do one more. And I'm happy to talk any more about that once we conclude today. We will meet again on the 21st, January 21st, here at 6 at the library. Thank you. Great. So, I think I got everything.
Liquor permit review. Dan, any updates?
The committee did not meet in the month of December, so I don't have any updates. Don't know when the next meeting will be.
Do you want to tell the commission kind of what the liquor permit committee is responsible for?
Yeah, so the liquor permit review committee is there will be opportunities where the zone attorney is responsible for liquor permits that get that are newly offered to an establishment. We may have the opportunity to hear about that and provide feedback on whether or not a new permit, how the community would feel about that coming with being offered, or whether a permit being transferred. So all liquor permits in Franklin County renew every February. Whether it be a permit for beer, liquor, Sunday sales, all of those need to be renewed every February. And so there is an opportunity kind of in the fall to talk about, is there any objections that we would like to bring forward potentially to say to the city, would you consider objecting to the renewal of the permit, right? City doesn't have jurisdiction over that, the state of Ohio does. But there is an opportunity for that kind of feedback to be brought forward, either through the work that the committee does, or there's definitely forms and different avenues that you can fill out and let the state department know of your objection to a permit. But what the committee had been doing is we had been tracking the permits in the zip codes 43204, 43228, 123, and 223. Those zip codes here in the Greater Hilltop area, and we were collecting, and it's available on the website, of any permits that were pending, that we were collecting those, any that were issued, any that were rejected, that kind of stuff. So just kind of keeping an update because we weren't always updated when permits were coming our way or being transferred, so the committee was kind of trying to get ahead of that, and there's a website where you can pull down information, and that is the work of the committee, so hopefully that helps give some
Yep.
insight.
Very good, thank you. Planning and economic development. Smith in Montana.
Thank you, Chair. So just to kind of share with you, what our committee is about. So we help, play a role in shaping the future of the greater Hilltop by advising, the Columbus Land Bank, evaluating, built environment needs, and establishing avenues for citizens to actively engage in the planning process. We've created a better way for identifying and advocating for capital improvements. So that's through, surveys, analyzing current infrastructure conditions and communicating with city departments and other stakeholders. And then also, creating a space to invite stakeholders to speak about developments in our community and also issues affecting our community. So like in the past, we've had folks come in to talk about the bank block, various land bank properties. We've had the city come in to speak to us about Link Us, and we ask questions and have sort of a dialogue on those sorts of things. Also, city sidewalk projects, Vision Zero, and affordable housing as kind of a general issue. And then another special project that we're kind of ending 2026 on, but we're gonna start in 2025. Is the next edition of Hilltop USA History and Homes, which is that book that I brought in last meeting that was written by this very body in 1984. We have the new edition printed, so at the next meeting, depending on who's chair, we'll look at that document and see how to best distribute it, because I believe we have 75 copies. I'm probably forgetting, yeah, about 75 or so, yeah. That the Department of Neighborhoods graciously got us for. Thanks again, OLBC. But those are just some examples of some of the various things we do. That committee is currently scheduled for January 15th at 6 p.m. here at the Hilltop Library. So thank you.
Great, thank you very much. Public safety. Carla?
Dan and I, have been co-chairing that for the last few months. We did not meet this very last month. I very much want to thank Dan for all of his service. This is the very last of his term, so I want to thank him for all of his years on GHAC. Actually, I don't know if you still have that open. Yeah, because I may just babble and I miss something.
Are you okay if I read it?
Yeah, if you don't mind, thank you.
Yes, the purpose of the Public Safety Committee is to monitor and review the adequacy, appropriateness, and distribution of services provided by the City of Columbus and other public agencies in the greater Hilltop area, including but not limited to safety and sanitation. The committee also makes recommendations for improvements in existing services and strategies, solutions based on voices from and information from the greater Hilltop area residents.
Yeah.
Do you know when the next meeting will be? Are you gonna schedule that soon?
Well, it would tentatively be scheduled. I think that would be right, January 21st. That's Thursday. I'm not looking at my calendar. But I guess we would have to see who's chair or not chair. I don't know if that's staying just for the public.
Great.
All right, and recreation and parks. We've already kind of heard the update. Is there anything else you'd like to add to that report, James?
Yeah, it's a great committee. We're outside in the summer. We don't go out when there's tornadoes. So we're indoors October, November, December, January, February, and March if need be. If anybody's interested, feel free to sign up for the committee. We'll be posting our park audit schedule for 2026 this month. So on that list, any park you want to attend, you're more than welcome to show up, help pick up some trash, have a discussion, and help us complete our audits.
Great, thank you. Now for the commissioners, I have passed around a sheet where you can list your availability, try to be honest and judge what you can do the best. And then circle 3 to 4 committees down below that you are interested in. And then if you're willing to serve as co-chair of any of these committees that you want to be on, list those down below as well. These will then go to who's ever elected chair, and then they will pick who they want to serve on each committee. Now, so I'm sure everyone is gonna want to sit on the zoning committee. Because we are the most fun committee out there to get into zoning policy, right? Obviously, we can't have all 15 of us on zoning committee, even though that would be a blast to have everyone digging into whether or not they can move their fence 3 feet closer to the property line or not. Yes, that is a big issue we get at zoning, right? So that'll be up to the new chair to make those final decisions, but after you finish those up, feel free to pass them back to me and I will hand them over to the new chair once we get to that place. But we are now moving into unfinished business. And just so people know, we're like 13 minutes ahead of schedule, according to the random times put on the agenda. I know, it's a new year. It's the new year. It's the new year. I'm rusty. I'm rusty. All right. So we have 3 terms, 3 seats to be filling. Jenny Kepler stepped down at the end of the year last year. She has 1 year left to fill on her term. Brandon Barkus also stepped down because he's moving out of the neighborhood. He has 2 years left on his term. And then as per our commission, we have we have 5 seats that come open every year. And so we're rotating. So that 3rd seat is an appointed seat, and is traditionally appointed. So the 1 year and 2 year terms both have to be residents of the Hilltop, of the greater Hilltop area. Look at the map, got to be within inside those lines. That 3rd seat can be an individual who lives, works, or owns property in the greater Hilltop. Okay? And we've had some confusion with this in the past on who can serve where. So this just, does that make sense to all the commissioners on who is eligible to be nominated for each of these seats? If somebody works in the Hilltop or owns property but does not live here, they are not eligible to be nominated for that 1 year seat or that 2 year seat. All good. All right. Secretary and assistant secretary, are you all ready to go for nomination process? So the way we will proceed, commissioners will nominate individuals for the seats. We will then invite you to come up, quick introduction of yourself, and why you want to be on the commission. The commissioners will be able to ask you questions. I will tell you this, you can save us some time in asking the question and just say what committee you might be interested in serving on. Because that is a question that I think Commissioner Montana started as a standard, or Commissioner Smith started as a standard thing. So I would encourage you just to answer that question, your remarks. If not, we'll ask it to you as you go forward. But just say a little bit about who you are, 1 to 2 minutes, why you're interested in serving on the commission. So do we have it? We'll begin with the 1 year open term. Do we have any nominations at this time? I would like to nominate Kayla Wilkerson. Come forward and introduce yourself and share why you're interested in being on the commission.
Well, good evening, commissioners. Thank you, Secretary Chair Bates. My name is Kayla Wilkerson, as he said. Professionally, I work as the Director of Budget and Finance for the Senate Democratic Caucus, so I have the beautiful blessing of working with 600 Bill DeMora. Great guy, really glad to work there. I grew up as a military child, so I've lived in 5 states, but I have had a heart for public service and doing what I can to make my community and our world a better place. And so in my time, I've worked as a teacher. I now work for the Senate and the state capacity. My education, I got my undergraduate degree in education at State University, taught for 3 years, taught 1st graders. That was cute until it wasn't. Went back and got my master's in public administration where I focus on education policy. So I do a lot of work in that space, but also for the state, I have done work in the housing space, understanding affordable housing, kind of where our state is lacking. I've worked very closely with Senator Craig on those issues and have become so much more informed, so much more passionate. I moved to the Hilltop area it'll be January 17th, 1 year, that I bought my house and moved on over here from, up northwest, part of the city, and I have loved every second of it. It's a beautiful area. I love seeing the development, seeing things change. I love seeing the familiarity folks have with each other. I was able to attend a very brief gathering in Crescent Park. We were dropping off some food and just seeing a pop-up event, and I just love that folks do that. Having grown up in the military, not having a home base, being able to start to build that here has been a true blessing. So I want to serve on the commission to get more involved, build greater relationships, and make a difference in my community. As far as committees, I'm happy to serve in the area of greatest need, but my primary interest would be in education, human services, planning and economic development, and probably government and legislation. So.
Commissioners, any questions?
I do. What part of the hilltop do you stay in?
I am in Westgate. I'm on Demarest, so like right before
Commissioners, any questions?
the like Darrow Road, the apartments back there.
Great, thank you. Any additional nominations for the 1 year term?
So, clarifying piece really quick. I do want to keep my word to this person. I don't have a resume or any background knowledge. Just a FYI. So, this person reached out to me, and like I said, I do want to honor my word. So I will allow, or not I will allow, but, Terry, if you wanted to come and explain why you are seeking to rejoin the commission, that is on you. Yes.
Hello, my name is Terry Roof. I previously sat on the commission for a short period. I thoroughly enjoyed working with you. I would like to get back on so that I can finish what I came on to do, which was to help the Hilltop. Pretty much did. I am a lifer on the Hilltop. Been here since I was 4 years old. Grew up here. Back, used to play in a little wooded area right here where this library sits. With a little river, actually, I don't know where out where the creek went. But there's a creek underneath this somewhere. But we used to play in it. But pretty much, I would just like to get back on. I really enjoyed working on zoning. Was one of my favorite. I worked on the liquor committee, and I believe I was with one other, and I can't remember what it was, what committee it was. But that's the short of it. I would like to get back on and finish what I started. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions from commissioners? Seeing none, thank you. Any additional nominations for the 1 year seat?
We think we want to nominate Dean, but we don't know. No, Don. Dan.
Dan?
Well, I really appreciate it. I'm not gonna be able to do that this year. I apologize.
Okay, we wasn't sure.
All right. Seeing no additional nominations, nominations are closed. Secretary, will you take the roll?
Yeah, so when I call your name, please give me the name of the individual who you were voting for.
And can you remind everybody who those two individual
Yeah.
are? Oh,
Wilkerson.
you're
Yeah.
fast, Josh.
Thank you.
It's on the board.
Okay, and here we go. For the first round for the vacancy of the 1 year term finishing former Commissioner Kepler's term. This is a residential position. And I will start, I'll just start down the left and go around. I can go first.
Yeah, you go first.
I'll go first. Okay, thank you all for your interest in serving. Wilkerson. And I'll move here to Commissioner Smith.
Wilkerson.
Okay.
Wilkerson.
Right.
Wilkerson.
Commissioner Maddox. I don't remember your name. Commissioner McKee.
Wilkerson.
Commissioner Amin.
Wilkerson.
Commissioner Bates.
Wilkerson.
Commissioner Mateen.
Wilkerson.
Commissioner Valentine.
Wilkerson.
Commissioner Kitchen.
Wilkerson.
Commissioner Carr.
I'll vote for Gary.
And Commissioner Kitchen. I'm sorry, Valentine.
Wilkerson.
That's 11. For Wilkerson and 1 for Roof. And so Wilkerson gets a seat.
Great. Moving on to our 2-year term. This is to fill Brandon Barkis's seat, so this person will serve 2026 and 2027. Do we have any nominations?
The person I reached out to was not interested, so. Into yeah, I mean, we did have another candidate's name or another nomination. So, but I don't know if you'd be interested in bringing the name again, or if there are any other names. Are we allowed to? I guess we're allowed to bring up the same person.
We can.
Are there any members of the community interested in running for a vacancy? Wait, you said that.
Just asking a question.
You don't have.
The person that
we
I
have that
reached out to, no longer watching.
I see a few folks in the back who are chatting. You interested in being nominated?
Sorry, maybe comment. What's up,
Victoria, are you interested in being nominated? No.
Here is everything, that's right. Okay.
Okay, I have a nomination to bring forward. I would like to nominate Kyle Edwards.
Kyle Edwards.
Okay, hi, everybody. So this is actually my first time ever joining one of these meetings. I purchased my house in March of this last year. I'm a real estate agent. I want to get involved in the community. I want to also make this my home because it is my home. I want to make it beautiful. And whatever it takes to do that and be a part of whatever it takes to get there. I want to do it. So I don't know what all this involves yet, but I'm definitely willing to invest the time and become part of the community because I do like it every year. It's quite nice. So, yeah, my name's Kyle Edwards, everyone.
Great. Are there any additional nominations for the 2-year term?
Sorry.
So definitely like recreation parks. And then. I mean, zoning definitely works with my job, so like that would be interesting to be a part of. I'm over off Salisbury Road, just south of Bishop Reedy.
Yep.
Go Knights.
No, what? Great. Any additional questions for the candidate, for the nominee? Any additional nominees for the 2-year term?
Terry, did you raise your hand that you're interested? Okay, I nominate Terry Root.
Okay. Terry, would you like to come forward and introduce yourself again?
Hello again. Carrie Root.
Still?
Still?
All right, good to know.
Haven't changed my name. So again, I'd like to, like I said, I'd like to continue, where I started. I really enjoyed working on zoning. I was with, Dan on the liquor permit review. And, I would usually sit in, I was trying to sit in on at least one committee meeting that I was not assigned to. I got around to quite a few of them. But I didn't get to all of them. So I'd like to continue that. Pretty much it. Thank you.
Thank you. Questions?
Sure, I do have a question for the nominee here. Thank you for your ongoing interest. You know, a chairperson, even 6 days in the position here, at the beginning of his comments earlier, indicated how attendance is important for us, and I saw you at committee meetings engaged. However, you did resign pretty quickly. And so this is a first, and I have a second question for you. What guarantees do we have as a commission that you will remain on commission if you are doing
The reason
work?
I left is I was having
Not leave us with a big.
a personal conflict with the previous chair. And that it was taken away from my time.
Okay.
To work with everybody, and it just became a distraction.
Okay, I appreciate that. Second question has to do with online decorum. I'm not on Facebook. I don't use it. I think it's toxic. However, it is a tool that we use to communicate with the community. And it's been brought to my attention that there's a lot of chatter that's happening on there that is not productive towards our work. Whether you're involved in that or not, I'm not sure. However, what guarantees do we have from you that you will not be engaged in poor online decorum on Facebook or any other?
On my personal Facebook page?
I know this is tough because you're a private citizen, but we're representatives. We are out there.
Yes,
So
and the stuff that I was posting is basically it was basically because you guys are elected officials. I know you guys, everybody is doing this for no pay. You're all volunteers, but you are duly elected officials and you are open to criticism. Everybody is open to criticism. That's part of being elected officials.
If I can add something, one of the things that we did at community relations last year, which I think you were at one of the meetings, was like discuss like the online or the social media policies, and there is, like Commissioner Bates had shared this, this thing that, like, as a commissioner, we take on the role of like a public figure, like we're sharing, we are a public figure, and so there are limits to what we can say as a representation for GHAC, so just keeping that in mind. There's, I think the social media policies that we put in place last year, I would recommend all new commissioners take a look at that, and if you can't find that, please let me know. And newly appointed Kayla, if you want to also take a look at that, because it does have kind of how we're supposed to represent ourselves online.
Any other question?
Any additional nominations for the 2-year vacancy? Seeing none, nominations are closed. Secretaries, will you please take the roll?
Yep, we'll do this the same way. We have Kyle Edwards and Terry Ruth. When I call your name, please indicate the individual who you think to elect. And I'll start with myself again. Can I go to the left this time? Okay. All right, Terry. To Commissioner Montana.
Edwards.
Got it. Commissioner Ford.
Terry.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Commissioner Kitchen.
Edwards.
Okay, Commissioner Valentine.
Edwards.
Commissioner Martine.
Edwards.
Thank you. Commissioner Bates.
Edwards.
Okay, Commissioner.
There.
Okay. Commissioner McKee.
Edwards.
Commissioner Maddox.
Edwards.
Tristan.
Klinga.
Thank you.
Edward.
Okay, thank you. And Commissioner Smith.
Edwards.
Okay, so what do we have? 9, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 for Edwards and 3 for Rick. Edwards is one. To the 2-year term completing Arkansas.
Congratulations. Alrighty. And the final for the 3-year vacant, for the 3-year appointed seat, and reminder, this can be someone who lives, works, owns property in the greater Hilltop area, is eligible for this 3-year appointed seat. Do we have any nominations?
I nominate Terry Root.
Okay.
Any additional?
Are there any other members of the community that would be interested in running? Gotta own property, live here, or work here, right? Is that the third? Yeah.
Yep. Pastor Kevin, I just heard somebody say your name.
No, I'm not interested.
And Haunted, are you interested?
To decline, thank you.
He's so unfair. Jesseline.
Just looking around.
Yeah, it's all on my own.
Anybody else interested? Any other nominations? Seeing none?
Would like to be nominated, so I guess I will nominate him.
Okay.
Hey, James.
Hi, everybody. James White. I've been on the commission, well, my term ended in 2025 on the 31st, but I do still own my home. I'm still active in the Recs and Park Committee, still plan to be, regardless of if I'm the commissioner or not. That's my pride and joy. That's my little, I don't want to call it my baby because so many other commissioners and neighbors have helped grown it into what it is. So that would be my top committee to be on. I'd be more than happy to continue to serve as chair on that committee. I do have to give the caveat that my home is listed for sale. But as I continue to think about the options that are available to me, it most likely will be for rent. So the caveat is I may have to step down at some point if it does end up being sold. But otherwise, I'd be more than happy to serve as long as I'm able and willing. So yeah, if anybody has any questions, we're happy.
So would you step down if your house is actively for sale sells?
I can take down to 9, I'll list it for
Is that
rent.
your plan?
No, I'm
So
not gonna
the-
commit to
The
that.
question is, if your house.
I'm not gonna
sells-
commit to any hypotheticals that I haven't fully determined tonight.
So.
But like I said, it is still actively for sale.
You can't
file
answer
is-
the question?
Okay, so let me finish. Keep rating me. Yeah,
Commissioner Carr, let James answer the question.
like I said
Rating.
previously, my home is still actively listed for sale. And the options available to me at this point in time, if it does not sell, it will be listed for rent. I'm weighing those options right now. I have full determination in the next 15 days. Other than that, like I said, that's the one caveat. I still own my home. Like I said, I'm still active in the community, but I totally understand if that's the one, no, then don't vote for me. That's as clear, as simple as it could be.
Thank you. Additional questions for the nominee? Are there any additional nominees?
Thank you.
Any additional nominees? See none, nominations are closed. Secretaries, will you please take the roll?
Try to balance this a little bit here since we've been the first to go. So I will start with Chair Bates and then I'll move clockwise to Commissioner Amin and around. Okay, our nominees here are Terry Roof and James White. And we will start the voting with Chair Bates. How do you vote?
Go James.
Commissioner Amin. The names are here too.
Oh, James. White.
Okay. Okay, Commissioner McKee,
White.
Commissioner Maddox,
James.
Kristen,
White.
yeah, like you wanted to say Clinton, but
It's like bingo.
bingo.
Okay, all right, that's.
Yeah, that's a good.
Okay. Commissioner Smith,
Roof.
you. Roof. Commissioner Montana. Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah, thank you. I typed roof instead of my name. Just because I'm speaking in.
Also vote for Cherry.
Commissioner Carr,
Very.
Commissioner Kitchen.
Roof.
Thank you. Commissioner Valentine,
White.
Commissioner Mateen.
White.
Ruth has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. White have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Which is the majority. And so James White is reelected.
Congratulations, James. So our next piece of business, so for the 3 newly elected commissioners, 3 new appointed commissioners, thank you for your willingness to serve. Touch base with Olabisi and she will get you squared away. It's highly encouraged for you to set up separate. Most of us have like, Nick Bates at GHAC@gmail.com or something like that. So that you can keep all your GHAC emails and things separate. So talk to Olabisi before you leave tonight so she can get your information and get you processed. Now, and also for those 3, I do have forms for you to fill out for committee assignments. You can go ahead and fill those out before you leave tonight. So whoever is elected chair can make that choice. And I did confirm that only the 12 of us get to choose. The 3 newly elected do not get a voice in the leadership for this upcoming year because it takes 30 days for you to get processed through the system. So, sorry about that. So for officers for next year, we have 4 openings: chair, vice chair, treasurer, and secretary. We will begin with the chair nominations. Does anybody have anybody they would like to nominate for the chair position?
I did not ask permission for this, so I'm going to apologize ahead of time if I catch you off guard. I'd like to nominate Commissioner Mateen to be chair of the Greater Hilltop Area Commission.
And I think we need a second. I was second that because I was gonna be that.
You would have to accept.
Yeah.
Great, well, that was easy.
Are there any other nominees for chair? No, very serious.
Oh, have you been nominated? I would nominate you.
Me?
Yes.
I do not accept.
Okay.
Yep. As I was very quick, 6 days as chair is my limit. Hold on, I better publish before she rescinds. Any other nominations for chair? Nominations are closed. With only one nominee, I declare that Siobhan Mateen has been chosen to be the chair for 2026.
Yeah, let's.
Oh, we do stuff?
Procedurally, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, no, you're good, you're good.
Okay.
Go- Sorry,
No.
got a little ahead of you. You'll know these rules. Go ahead, secretaries, please take the roll.
Wait, we don't.
She said, oh, we don't.
Yeah. no.
Oh, okay.
There was only one.
All right, great. The next position will be vice chair. Do we have any nominees for vice chair?
I nominate, can I nominate somebody? Yeah. I nominate, Sarah.
Do you accept?
Thanks.
Do we have a second?
Second.
And we have an acceptance.
I think I heard someone over here raise it.
Are there any additional nominees?
Wasn't. Sorry.
Any additional nominees? I'm going slow just to make sure everyone has a chance. Seeing none? The nominations are now closed. With only one nominee, I declare that Sarah Amin is our vice chair for 2026. Congratulations. Next up will be treasurer, the position of treasurer. Dean has been serving in this role. My understanding was you do not want to do it this year, but you have committed to helping whoever comes into the role.
Correct, and I do have a nomination to bring forward.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. I nominate Commissioner Renette McKee for the position of treasurer.
I accept.
And do we have a second?
Second.
Any additional nominees for treasurer? Declare the nominations closed. Congratulations. Being our new treasurer. And finally, secretary.
I'll renominate myself.
Joe nominates himself. And do,
I'll nominate him too.
okay. The amount of notes you keep, yeah, I think I'll be the fifth person. No. Do you have any?
I'm happy to not do it if someone wants to experience too. I'll back you up the way Ashley's been backing me up. It's a great way just to get into the minutes and know what's going on too.
We love you there.
Do we have any additional nominees? All right, seeing none,
I accept, Brian.
I don't think I give you a choice. Nominations are now closed. Congratulations, Joan, being reelected as treasurer. Well, secretary for the official minute. All right. So that is all that we had for new business for the 3 new commissioners. Make sure you come up here, get out your forms, and then everyone, if you could hand in your forms to Siobhan for deciding how the committees will be divided up.
Yeah.
And do I have a motion to adjourn?
Yes.
And a second?
Second.
Any opposed? I declare our January Greater Hilltop Area Commission meeting adjourned. And don't